What's up, y'all? This your girl Katie, influencer, and this is Crime in the Hood TV. So I've been doing some research, and I seen a post of a lady that posted about Houston, Texas. She said there is 33 bodies that has been found in the bayous in Houston this year. She reported that in December, the numbers went up to 33. They found two bodies within hours of each other in different bayous. So I'm going to call this the Bayou of the Unseen. Let's get into it. In 2025, Houston became the center of a disturbing pattern that many residents say was ignored for too long. Across the city's winding waterways, Buffalo Bayou, Brays Bayou, White Oak Bayou, Greens Bayou, and others, bodies began turning up one after another. At first, it seemed like isolated incidents. A passerby notices something floating, a 911 call is made, police arrive, another body is pulled from the water. But as the months went on, the numbers kept rising. By the end of the year, at least 33 people had been found reported missing and later found dead in Houston area bayous, with some counts reaching even higher shortly afterward. The discovery spanned different neighborhoods, different times of the day, in different circumstances, but they all shared one thing in common. They were found in the water, a pattern the community couldn't ignore. Bodies were discovered near bridges, parks, trails, and roadways, places people pass by every day. In some cases, two bodies were found within hours of each other in different bayous. Other times, multiple recoveries happened within the same week. Residents began asking questions, and I don't blame them. Why are so many people ending up in the bayous? Why does it keep happening? And how many more are still missing? Social media lit up with concerns and fears. Rumors spread fast. Some people believe Houston had a serial killer targeting vulnerable individuals, dumping them in the water. Others believe something more systemic was happening, something tied to poverty, addiction, homelessness, and mental health. Officials respond, but doubt still remains. Houston police and city officials pushed back against the serial killer rumors, like trying to calm things down. They stated there was no evidence linking the deaths together and emphasized that the cases involved different causes, including accidental drownings, medical emergencies, substance-related incidents, and deaths classified as undetermined. Authorities also pointed out that Houston has an extensive network of bayous and drainage systems, and that fast-moving water can carry bodies long distances before they are discovered. But that's still not telling us how these people ended up there. But for many families and residents, those explanations didn't fully sit right. Because even if the deaths weren't connected by one suspect, they were connected by one outcome. People disappearing, then turning up dead in the same places again and again. These victims, they were more than numbers. Some of the victims were eventually identified. Others remained nameless for weeks or months. Age verified, backgrounds verified, but many were described as people who were already vulnerable. Individuals struggling with housing instability, substance use, mental health challenges, or simply being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Each recovery meant another family getting a call no one wants to receive. Each body meant another story cut short. And for every identified victim, there were still unanswered questions about how they ended up in the water and whether their death could have been prevented. Fear, silence, and unanswered questions. What made the situation especially unsettling was the lack of closure. Many cases were quietly ruled accidental or left open. Autopsy results were not always made public. Details were limited. Press conferences were brief. Meanwhile, residents living near the bayous reported feeling unsafe. Families of missing loved ones questioned whether enough was being done early on before the bodies were found. Was this just a tragic coincidence magnified by a large city? Or was it a warning sign of deeper failures in mental health care, addiction services, public safety, and protection for the most vulnerable? Since y'all want to say it's not a serial killer, what's going on with the services for the public? If they got, housing instability, where are the services in Houston, Texas to help people get homes? Where are the services for people to get, off of drugs? Where are those services at if we finding so many vulnerable people in the water? Why this story matters. This is not just a story about bodies in the water. It's a story about who gets protected and who gets overlooked. About how easy it is for people to disappear without immediate urgency. About how communities are left to connect dots when official answers feel incomplete. Whether or not a serial killer was responsible, 33 lives were lost, and each one deserved attention, investigation, and accountability. And until every family has answers, the pattern stops, the Bayou Houston will remain a place not just of water, but of questions. If you are someone that has a loved one missing, don't wait. Report it. Push for answers. Keep their name alive, because silence is where stories like this continue. This is Crime in the Hood TV. We don't just tell the story. We remember the people. Stay vigilant, love one another, and if you see something, say something. Peace.